So much for stopping by today. I mean, this is week 2 of camp, and I'm always super excited to have the opportunity to literally come in here and share and teach and make you understand a few things, right? So we're going to be discussing essentially today we're going to be talking about community building, and lastly we're going to introduce YouTube, everything you need to know about YouTube, and then how to start your journey as soon as possible, right? Okay, so basically here, every business that is not developed around community, I don't know. I don't see that business doing well. That's just the truth. If you're essentially just going ahead to probably just exchanging goods and services every single time you have the opportunity without developing any form of bonding, that is going to be strong dead end for you, because like we've tried literally almost all forms of marketing, and one marketing method that stands out is simply the marketing by word of mouth. And guess what, it's always super easier for people to hear about people or discuss people when community comes up. Now these are a few things I would want everybody to understand, right? Essentially, there are some institutions. Yes, I usually find it very hard to discuss this because I feel like most people don't know about this, but then this is one thing you need to pay attention. There are some institutions that are currently doing very well in Africa generally. So one thing I've realized as well is that the body of Christ. Okay, so this is me saying something about the body of Christ. Now I usually would not want to maybe dabble into that a bit, but because I know that a lot of people are going to be listening in and this will literally help somebody out there, right? One thing I can say surely is that um the body of Christ has literally paid attention to that. So essentially, people who start building any particular thing at all with the ideation of community building, so anything you build via the community model, you're going to have like literally ripple effects, anything you do beyond yourself. So the reason why some businesses don't do well, right, after some years, after some time, there was no community around it. And then for me, I would always say there's always this energy, right? People talk about, they call it the power, but literally there's nothing you do and you do alone that will be as effective as when you do it with people. And that's why I made this particular side of the training a paid part of the training, because it's possible for you to have done from day one till now and you've not seen any results. But if you pay attention to what I'm about to share, I can tell you for free. My only challenge is being able to have people that implement. Like I said, I can take a horse to the river, right? But I can't force the horse to drink the water. That's essentially what community building can bring to you. Okay, now I'll reiterate a few things again. I said there are certain principles or certain organizations currently, especially in Africa, where seemingly businesses are not working, right? There are many people that have paid attention to community building, and literally their lives have never been the same. I mean, I could call it the church. So when I was describing that, I said the body of Christ. So you find out that, okay, one man might literally not have money. In fact, I've had stories of so many people who would say they came into a city and they came with only a bag and a book, and all they had to do was convince, maybe let's say 14 people. They were able to convince 10 people, and then they were all pushing together, and now they are now a great nation. For me, I think it's part of the principle of God's growth, right? And there's a place in the scripture that says he placed the solitary in families. So for me, that scripture latched onto my heart, and I've already decided. I just figured out basically, okay, maybe I should reduce this share first. Okay, so one of the things I just figured out was this. I realized that literally nobody will do well outside of community building. I've thought about it. I mean, I've meditated on it. I've seen what people are doing currently. I've seen people who started businesses alone and literally died alone without having any form of successions. So essentially, when we're talking about community building, we're talking about building systems. So systems of people, systems or business systems. Those are two different things. Today, we're not discussing business growth strategies. No, that is entirely for another course completely. We're discussing how we can leverage community. So I'm saying it again. If probably you have not seen results so far, this is the game changer. And I made sure I put it in the what did they call it, in the gold group, because I know that literally, if you pay attention to everything I'm going to discuss with you all tonight, literally your life will never be the same. So I gave you an example about people who are literally doing well now, right, via the community building. Now, the reason why I'm talking about community building is that I'm hoping that you've already paid attention to your story, your brand story. You've already paid attention to your brand persona. You've already paid attention to your brand stage statement. You already know what you want to offer. You've already decided that, okay, this particular skill. Okay, so let's say for me, when I showed up or decided to go into the business of upskilling people, one thing I had in mind that was my sole persona that made me, okay, make up my mind that this is what I wanted to do, was because it was super annoying to see that people were amplifying things that were not necessary. I mean, in this life, if you pay, and that's what I've been clamoring all through the camp. I tell every single person, pay attention, you have the results. Pay attention, you have the results. But then, of course, one other thing I've also noticed is that people sometimes are super busy to have results, and I can't blame them at all, right? You're just delaying your results. When you're ready to get results, you know exactly what to do. So today we're going to be talking essentially about the power of community building. By the end of this course today, you would have had an opportunity to start your community. So, and then today we're going to merge two in one. Okay, so I just have barely 1 hour, let's say 1 hour 15 minutes, because at the end of it we'll just introduce YouTube and then we'll start our YouTube journey together, right? It's going to be a lot, but I don't know how else to make you have value for your money, except if you say, because that's one of the things I've noticed. Some people are feeling like, oh, if they are just able to have niche down and decided what they want to offer, that's enough for them. Well, I will probably have to look into it also, because the vibe I'm getting is that is like, okay, you're okay wherever. Some assignments you don't have to do it. I'm like, okay, it's still not, the money is not still coming to my pocket, right? When you start earning. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to do this. Maybe when you have people who are currently buying into your vision, hopefully it might put you into one pressure or the other to start doing the work you need to do. Okay, so this is essentially it. So we're going to be discussing the power of community building. The reason why I'm just going to discuss it for a few minutes is just because I know that every single person will do well having probably just the basics around it. But all the practical, I'll discuss the practical in less than 20 minutes and we'll just start the assignment immediately. Okay, so part of the things I would tell everybody who's probably listening to me right now is just if you have already described your brand story, then you know the name you can call your community. So as I'm talking, okay, towards the end of this discussion today, I would ask some of us on random to probably just say something about what they are going to do. So I would want you, don't listen to me for listening sake. Listen to me to have something to do. So I'm hoping that as you're listening, you're not jotting down what I am saying. You're going to literally be writing a story about what you want to do with your community. Like I said, before the end of this community, all of all of the people in the gold group who are willing to work, we're going to have a project, and then part of it is that you're going to host your live events with your community. So we're going to score you on based on many things. I've said it again, even if it's one person that will do it, I will go ahead with the person. I'll post the person on my platform, and then we will just move the person a little more. Then I would even be there if you'd want me to be among your speakers for your event as a part of the practicals that we're going to be discussing tonight. Why not? If not, if you have stage fright, we already have public speaking. These are day 2. Please go back to my profile and just listen to our day 1 of the public speaking training that we started. We're going to still have the trainings for 3 more weeks to go. I think 3-4 more weeks to go, and then we'll give our certification. So I'm hoping that you all, if you pay attention to this one, like I said, that's the reason why I didn't put it to be part of the general class. I had to make it paid because I know that this is the number one amplifier. So I told you the story of people who literally start something alone, but because they got other people to jump on board, not necessarily because they paid them, their voices can literally be amplified to get the results they've been looking for. Okay, so essentially, so I've discussed essentially that. Okay, so for us in the sense of community building, we'll be talking about social media platforms as our niche. Okay, our immediate family, as our niche, our WhatsApp especially, because one of the things I've noticed is that some people they do things. I mean, I mean, some people's contacts, literally, I've never seen them talk about what they do on their WhatsApp status, and I'm like, okay, now we're talking about your immediate family even buying into what you do. Some of you, your siblings don't even know what you do, and that's already a red flag because, like I said, the percentage of people who will buy into your vision by word of mouth is almost like 100%. Let's say you did an ad and nobody knows you, and you did, and somebody posts a flyer about you saying that they know you. It's literally almost 100% compared to you running an ad. So just in case some of us are screaming ad, there's still a place for organic growth. And organic growth simply means that people have bought into you. And that's why I can have about 40 people in the boot camp, right? Despite the fact that our price is super competitive, right? So, but then that simply means something that people know that, oh, when this lady says that she's going to do this, she's literally doing it. So I'll say it again, for other camps, what they do normally is that they will only meet once a week, and it's once on Sundays, and they will just teach you around LinkedIn. They will just teach you around LinkedIn. And for God's sake, like I said, in 15 minutes, I can run through that and then we're done, right? And I'll start asking you questions. The thing is, once you pay attention to a platform that you want to benefit from, you certainly have the results. For some people who said they are in the boot camp, because as far as I'm concerned, some people said they're in the boot camp and then you post and ghosts. I think I did one analogy before on one of my posts one of these days. I said, how can 100,000 um somebody who is having maybe a connection, so followership of 100,000, have 1,000 comments and like? It just simply tells you that it's not in the number. So it means that the person probably doesn't really have much time to engage. And when I want to bring that ratio down to us who probably have 10,000 plus, 15,000 plus, 20,000 plus, it just means if 100,000 person can have 1,000 likes and comments, it means that if somebody who has, let's say, 10,000 plus should have about 100 likes and comments if they don't do anything, right? I mean, if they are growing well, like they are giving value, okay, then somebody who has 1,000 should have like about 10 likes and comments. Okay. So me saying this, it simply to, if you want to move the algorithm into your favor, there are certain things you need to pay attention to. Now, why paying attention? Somebody can say now that, oh, we don't eat likes and comments. I say that a lot when it comes to monetization. Yes, it's possible that you can have the likes and comments, but you will not have the money, right? When it comes to monetization. But the challenge is, or the beautiful thing about likes and comments and traction, is that you can build a community off of it. You can build a community off of it. Okay, so essentially you convert people who just come to like and comment, you convert them to another channel. So there are many community building platforms, like literally a lot of them. We have Kajabi. I think really, I don't know if it's permitted in Nigeria because you have to use your, what's the name of that, you have to use your VPN, okay, to be able to register on platforms like that. But then of course the popular one that we use in the what's the word now, the popular one that we usually use around this side, okay, it's WhatsApp community. You can actually just open a WhatsApp community and bring people as a funnel from up. Like I said, from a freebie you can literally bring them in. So you give a freemium and tell them that, okay, people can come in. Now I'm going to give you every step you need. Don't sleep on me. Like I said, as I'm saying everything I'm going to be saying now, I want you to be documenting, because just come up with an ideation that is specific for your niche, and then how you can ensure that you bring people into a community, right? Okay, so I've discussed our page one. Like I said, today we're going to be quite, we'll summarize a whole lot of things here. Okay. I think I'm having a challenge. I don't know why this is not clicking. Give me a moment. So sorry, I think my screen froze. I couldn't bring anybody in. Thank you so much for waiting in right there. Okay, so essentially we're able to start our discussions right around community building. So if you're probably just joining us now, um, I apologize for that little glitch. I tried my best to click on the screen, it wasn't working at all. So, like I said again, the goal is to convert people from your post down to your funnel, right? So convert people from your post down to your funnel because you would want people who help you amplify the fact that okay, you are actually doing well, you're actually serving people with your life, right? So this is me discussing. So essentially, what is a community? A community, you don't start any community without clarity. And that's why I was able to give us a whole week to pay attention to all our brand story, our brand persona, our brand statement. What is it you're going to be telling people that, okay, this is what you want to offer them? Like I said, don't think that you're too small or you're too, you're, you don't know enough. No. Once you want to offer that service, I would say it again, that it's only fair that you have a lot of people come on board and serve alongside you. Okay, so we talked about community building being beyond followers. The goal is to find a way to to take traffic out of any platform at all. So, like I'll say again, if you want to offer or you're actively building a community, you have to look for a what's the word now, a platform. You need a, even if it's just one platform, you need a platform that will serve as your, you know how every job or every organization has a headquarters. You need one platform where at least you can sit down and call it your office, your office space. And by office space means that in the morning, the way every other person is going to work, or even as you go for your 9 to 5, if you're super busy, you just have a place where you just go open the door and okay, you have a place where you literally just open the door and just come in and you're attending to people. So that's why I was saying, okay, if you're in a boot camp, one of the first things to do for that season is for you to sit in and get the results right there. Okay. So now um like I said again, community building is about people who are having the same idea, the same concepts, the same values, the same vision, and nobody will have all these things in unison except you consistently communicate it. So since you've gotten your persona, you've gotten your statement, you've gotten your story, it means that the next phase is to find people that you're going to be communicating this ideation to. And like I said earlier, some of you are doing it, but you're doing it the wrong way. I mean, you just post and then people just come in and you're not getting those people involved in the vision of what you are doing. That's why a lot of us, our communities are not doing so well, right? Because you are not essentially engaging them the way you should, right? For me, my community phase has passed a little bit. I'm hoping that for some of us who are starting out, it will be super easy right now because you are in the place where you can literally tell people things, so people can come into your group either afresh, or you have a younger group that is not even up to 1,000, or it's not up to 500. It's the best time to literally tell them what to do and they're going to do it. If you notice, because we had certain challenges in that aspect, because of course when people see opportunities like that, when they see so many people on a platform that are not necessarily, for me, I also saw the fact that okay, the people that are sitting in, it would be lovely if it's also part of a job alert system, or and then I don't want a bombardment to the extent where people might say, oh, they have to leave for their peace sake. No. So that's how you might just have to start thinking, what is your community about? Are you going to open your doors wide open? If you're going to open your doors wide open where it's your only platform and everybody's interacting within that particular platform you have, then you really have a lot of job to do, because you have to communicate your vision to whoever is going to probably jump on it. Okay, so we talked about having genuine interactions. Now it's very beautiful that you now know what you want to offer. The question is, have you been able to interact to at least 1, 2 persons, 3 persons, 4 persons, 5 persons about it? Like I said, there's no robbery to it. Some of you might organize events and it will just be 5 people that will come. there is nothing wrong with it at first. No, nothing wrong. But because you have me here, I would ensure that that will not work, right? I will show you all the templates of everything the Phoenix Gate did till we got to this point, and how you can even surpass our own scaling. Like I said, for me, I hear a lot of things every week. In fact, as a last week, I already got a supernatural idea of something that I'm going to do for the Phoenix Kids. But then, of course, like I would always say, I'll first do it for myself, then before I share it, so that I don't put anybody in trouble, of course. So I said, essentially, community building, sharing the same ideas, values, niches. You might just think through it, whether you want a niche down community, like you hear people say virtual assisting community. Some people might say tech that tech body. I think one of our sisters hosts a community like that. Okay, so you might just come up with a name that is all encompassing about what you want to offer. Like I'll say it again, once you enter this community model, there's no going back, right? There's no going back in the sense that you keep doing something about it. I know that there are very few. Anyway, let me not say that there's no going back, because I think it depends on people, because I don't know how to explain the fact that people will pay for courses and they don't show up for, for their courses. So I don't know. So if you would want to start up a community, I would say it again. One thing you need to pay attention to is to make sure that you keep to your words and be a very valuable person and commit yourself to the work. See it beyond what anybody is going to offer or what you're going to. Okay, so we're going to be discussing. I'll just run you through it, then I'll give you the practicals. Then we'll introduce YouTube and quality night. Okay, so I think okay. So now I had explained of community building, essentially, like I told you all, that people will easily buy from people who said they know you than buying from you because you ran an ad. Okay, I know I've seen so many ads. In fact, recently I told myself, I think it happened to me day before yesterday, I wanted to eat isiewu. So for people who don't know, my tribe is called goat head. So I was just craving it, I think 2 weeks ago. No, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I saw it online. There was an advertisement. I was like, oh, that's lovely. I just clicked on it. I got into the person's WhatsApp and I told the person, okay, I want this here. They told me the price. Was it 15? Remember now. I said, okay, problem. I want to buy one for myself. I now said, okay, since I don't know you people, I'm just meeting you guys for the first time. Is it possible to deliver? Then I'll pay on delivery, because that's what I normally do. For some of you who are asking how I navigate motherhood, I don't cook as often. Oh my God, please go ahead for your, yes, this is recorded. Please go ahead for your business speech competition, please. Thank you very much. Okay. So, and then I actually believe that today's meeting is for you especially. So please make sure, because I know that rewatching is very hard. That's why I didn't curate this event to just be something that anybody will just come and listen in on. If not, I can do it. I have light, I have camera. I'll just set it and record and just post it there. And then whether you're interactive or not, it will not even bother me. Okay. But then for me, I don't really have peace like that when I don't see people utilize what I tell them to do. Okay. Okay, so back to what we're discussing, right? So when I reached out to the persons, what I told them was this, essentially. Okay, I wanted the ECU. They now told me that, okay, I now told them, they now said, if I said, perfect, okay, give me the address of where you stay so that I could just drop by and pick up the ECU and pay there, because it's not me that social media will play with you. Guess what they told me? They said, no, do like that you have to pay for it to come. You can't do a pickup. I'm like, okay, this is now funny. You can't do a pickup. You have to have paid for you to come and pick up. I just said, oh, in this day and age where social media has been bastardized, you don't want to sell now. I said, thank you, sir. But imagine, let's say Florence was the one who told me that there's actually a place where she eats ishewu, and Vivian, you need to taste it. I know this particular lady, she's very good at what she does. I mean, she will have sleepless nights until the ishewu comes to your house. And then I asked her, how much is it? And she tells me it's 15,000. And she now tells me that, anyway, how the lady does it is that you must pay before she prepares anything. I'll be like, okay, no problem. do you know the reason why I'm going to pay? I'm going to literally pay because Florence told me that she knows the woman. So that's why the community building method is very, very important, because you need other people who will spread the vibes of essentially whatever you're doing. Even if you are just starting out, I'm still saying it again, if you're currently on this event, get comfortable about starting out. Just get comfortable, right? Get comfortable. Let me change the settings on my YouTube so that people not just coming and watch. Hey, God, have mercy. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me discuss this. Even if you are just starting out. Okay, awesome. Sorry, give me a moment. Just 1 minute will not be bad. Okay. Okay, so even if it's one person that will literally tell everybody that, oh, this is I actually bought this chicken from this so person, and literally that was all. I mean, it's tasty. Guess what? I will pay because, let's say, Florence told me that she bought issue there, and that's how business goes on. So that's why I would always say, right now there are so many social media, um let's say, I don't want to call them celebrity, but social media figures or public figures who have been gaining traction lately. I think one of them, I'm going to call him Very Dark Man and the Rattles. Then who are the people now? I just realize, especially people who come out even from BBN, you find out that their popularity easily spreads because they're supporting people who don't even know them personally, but because they position themselves as a brand, people can literally take up their own challenges in their heads and literally push the narrative. So that's essentially why I know that if you pay attention, wait, I'm not telling you what I've not done. So the question will be again, just like everything I've shared so far in on this training, I've shared literally myself, I've opened up myself. So it's simple. If you don't pay attention, you'll be wondering. I'll still say it again. One of the most beautiful models I've seen in all my studies when I was doing some of my research, I realized that, I don't know, there's no institution that perfectly embodies community building model more than the church, especially in Africa. The church in Africa. And that is why you find out that the largest church is in Nigeria, at least as of the last time I know. Then you find out that you hear pastors who always had the story of, oh, I came to a place with my bag and now I'm now many nations and all that. It's also because there are a couple of persons who decided to buy into a vision, not necessarily because there's anything these people have to offer. So I'll still say it again, just before you start feeling like, okay, you don't have anything to offer, just call yourself a pastor for this phase of your life. Okay, so you can be the pastor or virtual assistant. Okay, I may not have all the answers, just like every pastor portrays, right? They don't have all the answers, but they definitely know that they are going to move you from point A to point B. So that is what I want literally everybody to have in their mind. So this is not a season to ask yourself whether it's possible, whether you're going to lead a community or a vision. No, if you want your voice amplified and you want people amplifying your voice, you have to pay attention to the fact that you have to build your own business, especially with community. So I'm hoping that you've done all the assignments till now. If you've not done the assignments, I don't know. I really can't help you because we had already discussed this long ago. So I'm hoping that maybe this will drive you to go back to your book and rewrite all the things you need to. Now that you know you're going to teach people, just like what we said on Sunday, right? That anytime you're consuming any material, consume as though you're going to be communicating it to another set of person. You'll see the spirit of leadership come up on you. Okay, so there are lots of people who are joking probably with the boot camp right now. But if you suddenly start seeing yourself as a leader, as a thought leader, somebody who now owns the community, your body language will change, right? So it simply means that you'll be documenting more. You now not have to share with people. You now have to read. Like for me, in flagship for the Phoenix Kids, I on streets, I was not having proper sleep. I didn't sleep. It was not because I experienced. I was a student. I'm still a student, by the way. I'm a public health student. I'm still, in fact, once I'm done with this meeting tonight, I have a research to write, right? I have a write this night, an introduction for a research. So I'm not free. right? If I said I want to increase the frequency of us, and it's just because I'm passionate. I don't want people to pass through the school and it's almost like they didn't get anything, right? I can probably just make all of you pay attention on visibility. Have is 500 likes and comments. In fact, you have 160,000 engagements and nothing to show for it. Or you have a job which is still beautiful, but the job that will soon expire because obviously project changes. So I'm sure if you want to hear the story, most freelancers you hear let me go straight to our next. Okay, so everybody would definitely, if you buy, if I eventually, okay, I think we're back. So if I had, okay, awesome. I think we're back. Awesome. So if I had had an experience that wasn't really good, I would not advocate for them. So for me, if I'd eaten the ECA, the way the craving was coming to me 2 days ago, I'll quickly post it on my profile, right? I'll even write it and put it on the table. I'll be like, oh my goodness, I've never had an ECA like this before. You should all just probably pay attention to this person who is currently producing this ECA and all that. Okay, that's what I would have done. Okay, so that's why you need to pay attention to building a community around the skill you're offering. I said it again, leadership is essentially about taking people from point A to point B. I first heard this from Sam Adeyemi, and I literally took it hook, line, and sinker. Like I said, when you are building this community, there are people in the community who will know better than you. Be open, be open, learn from people. um Literally, what's the word, be open, learn from people, pay attention to what they are doing, do what they are doing, say what they are saying, as well as what's the word now, pay attention to every little thing they're going to be open. I think the best thing about even having a community or growing a community is being humble enough to listen. Of course, bring people on your platform as well. In as much as people have also given you an opportunity, being somebody who will also give opportunities to other persons. That's essentially one thing we all need to pay attention to. Okay, so I think I've gone to the next page. So I said word of mouth is almost like 100%. So if Florence told me that she has a customer whom she buys the CAO, all she has to do is call the person. I will buy flat. But if I want to buy, I mean, ECO from a random person who did an ad, two things are involved. Either the person is a scammer who will scam maybe 200 more persons or 500 more persons, and we'll all just send the person 15,000. You know, the person has already hammered, and there's nobody to blame for it. So trust and credibility, then of course media coverage. That's why we also are hosting most of our boot camps on live, because we know that aside from the fact that we're also expending our lives to you, we also want other people beyond beyond you, beyond the circle of influence, beyond the people whom you're teaching, to also know about you. So bear in mind visibility as well. Okay. So of course, these are the benefits. You proper, I mean, you get to improve. Like we said, when we did our cohort, our third co third cohort, right? One of the things we did was to no, it's even fourth. We did our global visibility challenge for 4 months. Then we did two. We ran two masterclass. Um, then we did two challenge now. So that's almost six cohorts, right? We've had six cohorts. And one thing is common, that every single time we hosted, we did it more like a community. People could just reach out to me and say, okay, this is what I'm suggesting. And that is why what you need, you don't need to start your business or start whatever your skill or offer your skill, and it's just through it. Only you need to even who is what you do. Okay, so that's why it's also part of a very strong advantage of building whatever you're doing as part of a community model. Okay, so we talked about improvements, then co-creation. Yes, people can be a part of what you are doing. Of course, like I told you, there will be side effects. The side effects is that some people who probably you don't know from Adam can talk to you in certain ways that you don't understand, right? I mean, some of them I cannot get over some of the words that they were using. I've had people who even posted about me and were saying all sorts of funny things. But then it comes with growth. I'm just saying it now because I would also want you to pay attention to your mind when you are doing some of those things. Okay, so I said it again. These strategies for a try, we've already gone over them in our first week about target audience. You already know it, you already from your brand story, you already know the people that you're supposed to be reaching out to. I mean, then platform of choice. I already said this in the beginning of our classes today. So decide where your headquarters is. But because we're on the boot camp, our headquarters is LinkedIn, right? Yes, our headquarters is LinkedIn. Then what are the incentives? Like what we did there was that for me, when I started, I literally trained all the speakers who came on the platform, every single one of them. That means I trained not less than 60 speakers, not less than. I mean, we would meet midnight. So all these things that I'm doing now as a paid event, I was literally doing it for free when we started. And I'll say it again, when you start a community, I can tell you when to monetize. You just one thing you should probably do is at least just start out. If you're consistent, maybe by the time we're having our next breakout meeting like this, you just tell me what you've done so far, and I'll tell you what to do based on what you have done. Okay, so we're going to be going straight into the practical in a few more minutes. We just want to, so you come up with the incentives of what you can give them, because anyways, incentive that will eventually bring them into your group, right? So like what we said, you are going to be offering this, and as your grows, you'll be announcing it. Join a community of 2,000 person, join our community of 5,000 person, join our communities of 10,000 person, because the truth is, part of the incentives that people want to know that okay, they are a part of something bigger than they are. And sometimes the number can be deceptive. Like I said, some of this challenge where people are literally not taught anything, they're just taught how to be visible, profile, blah, 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 blah. People are still there. I mean, longing to be there. That's also because whoever it is that is hosting it must have also stayed on the platform long enough, and then probably that's what the person has decided to sell to people. And like I said, there's no challenge about it. But the thing is, after you've gotten all those hosts and likes and everything, you probably will not know what to do with them, because it might not convert depending on your niche. Okay, so host events. So we've already talked about the strategies. So strategies, we talked about it. Decide on what platform, who are the people that should be a part of your community, what is your vision and ideation, what is your concept, what is the inspiration for your community, what are the things that people stand to benefit if they join your community, and then how often do you need to meet. Like I said, there is no growth without interaction. So that's why you see us, when you see us say Phoenix Gate on Sunday 5+1, some purpose, even if it's one new person that gets to meet me as regards to what my purpose is and what I want everybody to literally come in contact with. And that's what I want, why I want everybody to pay attention. Okay, so we'll soon be done with this particular module, then we'll go to the next and we're done overall. So every other things that we'll be doing now will be check up. Okay. Reason my okay, awesome. I think it has moved initially. Okay, so just awesome. So I had already even discussed to community building, right? I will say it again. If it's for so when you see people counting their comments and likes, that's part of it. Like part of the reason why you are probably not having as much engagement as I am having, despite the fact that I don't spend much time on the platform. In fact, every single day I try my best to stretch to spend more time. But the truth is, I just have a lot of like you now. Most times in the evening, once this our teaching sessions end, most times in the evening, that's why I like to go online and see what is happening. I usually post twice a day, but I don't like to post and ghost. And if you notice, even affected our events, what's the word now? Our event setup. Okay, so if you curate an event, you have to be there to ensure that it doesn't flop. But because we had a meeting that Tuesday here, I could not. It would be dishonorable for me to be engaging, and I'm teaching you all. But then definitely, LinkedIn doesn't fear anybody. The post flopped. Okay, so I was hoping that maybe somebody who has been engaging all day, when they shared, it was going to probably help the post. But I realized that even the people who were sharing, like I said again, the power of your share availability on the platform. So any platform you're not spending time on is going to be super tough. Facebook, you have your family members there. YouTube, if you are into the comedy niche, the joking niche, the playing niche, and all that, social media, that's the media niche. You might have people who like gossip randomly just find you because they are there to while away time. But if you're out to build a community for education, you just have to pay your own homage, and it's by staying on the platform. So, like I said, if it's engagement, part of the things that you're going to also get is that some people will just generally be loyal to you. So you find out some of you, every time I post, you just share it. That's also part of your loyalty, right? So it means that on an average, even though I'm not spending as much time on LinkedIn, I would generally have more engagements than the average person who might even spend more time and doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, so growth is 20%. Of course, sometimes it can go as high as 100%. Okay, if you start your community now, you might even be growing as fast as 1,000 persons per week. It happened to me, right? Especially then when I didn't start taking classes. So I noticed that these classes really are dipping into my reach, right? But then, of course, there's no problem. I've made up my mind that this is what I want to do with my time. And usually that's why you find out that most people who are doing some of these trainings, they just do once a week. And then for me, I host events every week again. I don't even know if anybody can cope with what I do, but I host events every week again. So that also further dips my algorithm. So most times, if I was even hosting anything, and I'm just being Dr. Vivian Magnus, I'm sure that my reach will be far better. But I'm just saying that if you have it, your growth is likely going to be 20%, which is good. But the dangers of it's possible that you will not have any community and your growth for the entire month. You just see somebody celebrating that they grew by 1,000 per month. I used to do like this. My eyes is open, right? You can without going viral, you can actually grow by 1,000 followers per week. You can even grow by 1,000 followers in a day. Of course, if you have maybe a very big job opportunity and you stayed on the platform that day, or somebody who shared your post stayed on the platform that day. So that's the power of sharing. Sharing is like a spiritual. So when we're asking you to share, we really know the impact of your super when you community. It will be very important to associate brand customer satisfaction. My screen froze, so I had to go back and come back in. So let me see as many that I'm going to. I apologize for the little break in transmission. Okay, let me be sure that I'm hearing myself because my screen froze, so I had to go back and come back in. Okay, so yes. Let me see as many that I'm going to. I apologize for the little break. Okay, so if you have any questions, maybe before we'll just do the practical. I would want as many people. Okay, awesome. So I'll be able to add the people that I could add. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. So I'm hoping that you will just meditate through your you just meditate through what name you'd want to call your community because like I said, these are essentially you need people who are loyal to your vision, people who will create awareness, people who also share their insights, and you literally it can help you boost your growth in a very short time. Well, I'm not saying anything that I didn't do, right? I'll say it again. I'm not saying anything that I didn't do. So if we don't have any questions,
I have a
if you have
question,
any
please.
questions, just let me know. We'll just start quickly. We'll start the practice, hoping that everybody has written based on the assignments that we already give ourselves so far. All of us have
Yes, please, I
written
have a question.
down something.
Okay, network.
Just go ahead. So the first assignment
Doc, please, I have a
we already
question.
have our brand statement.
Oh,
Can hear you.
okay, please, my question is not part of this class. It's from one of the assignments you gave us, this
Okay,
freemium
I think said for
assignment, the form you asked us
some
to fill.
reason I don't. Are you?
I'm not,
Just give me a moment.
yes, my
Something
mic is
happened
on.
to my audio.
Okay,
Okay, give me a moment. Let me just get.
okay.
Miss Blessing, can you hear your question?
Yes, I can hear you. My question is concerning the freemium form that we created. Are we allowed to put it out there? That's post it either on our WhatsApp status or on different platforms in order to get this people we're looking out for.
Exactly. That is what you should. Okay, is that what the problem was? You're supposed to post it everywhere. Everywhere you can get
Oh,
people come on board with every single places. So, like I said,
oh,
if all of us have been paying attention based on what we've been saying so far, then we would have already what's the word? By now we should have gotten comfortable into what you're offering because you're already meditating over it. You're compressing time by thinking through what you have to offer every single. For me, that's what it was as bad as not. I'm not saying anybody should do that, but because of course, for me,
mm,
it came out of a place of pain in the sense that I'm seeing a lot of people guided, and this thing is not hard. That was why I knew I had to compress time, right? So I got and I had
mm,
my husband was quite standing. I said some nights I didn't sleep. I just wanted it is I wanted to offer. So it might not be that you will not have sleepless nights. It might just be that okay, once you just drop off your kids at school, what you have in mind is how you should be teaching, you should be meditating on so you don't have a free time. So all those Netflix time, I mean YouTube movie time and all that, you really don't have free time. So what I did was I sat on these ideations until it became some people will not believe it. Phoenix Gate is up to it's not even up to 6 months. And we started doing all the things we did
mm,
in the first month of starting it. Yeah, I'm just a newbie. I've cracked all that mentality. For me, in fact I started Phoenix Gate this week. We started challenging. Next week we started our live events. I started
mm.
training people already. And guess what? I generally I noticed that I grew up with anxiety. Anytime a mic comes to regular one, I fear I would want I feel like many times, and it wasn't really. You nobody would tell me it's even about it was more like a psychological thing. So I with that, I trained people with that energy on me. I still have my recordings now. I started recording from day one. That's how systemic we were. So I knew I was paying attention to what people needed. And I'll still say it again. I'm a medical doctor. I still scream it again. I'm a medical doctor, so that it's very to you, so that anything at all that's an excuse why you can bring people on board to let at least teach them what you know, organize people around, let them lead them from where you are. It will so that it will be bastardized. So it literally means okay, apart from the fact that okay, my background was in the fact that I was raised as I've done business all my life, right? All I just needed was a platform, how to find the how to offer or to do business in the digital space, and that's exactly what I did. I sat down and internalized. Oh God, I marinated. I stayed with it so that you know that you are not free. This is part of things you'll be telling yourself every single time you drop the children off. You're working for a client, you're trying to figure out what you need to offer. You know that you're not free. And by the time you pay attention to things like this, you would have escalated. And then you have people who would also tell other people that this is what you do. And guess what? Like I said, for me, my first clients were people who already knew me, people who already knew me. So my first set of persons who bought into the vision, who paid, were all people who knew me, and that's where the peace was from. So when you're stepping out like this, also have your visibility in mind.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Thank you.
And not visibility in the sense that oh, you are struggling. Okay, are we hearing me? I don't know. I think I lost blessing. Okay, so I said again, when you're doing all these things, right? One thing you want to pay attention to is your portfolio. Nobody can take it away from you. So once you've trained people, literally nobody can take that away from you. So just someone should just give me a go ahead, and then we'll just move to the next. We'll just do the practical quickly, and I'll tell you all how to. Um, we'll just do a 20 minutes class on YouTubing, and then from tomorrow I'll start making demands on both ways. So. Okay, so if you're in and then you can hear me crystal clear, just let me know. Let me be sure that it's crystal clear from my end. Okay, so I think I'll just go ahead. So this is the practical aspect of this, everything we've been discussing so far. Okay, so what I would say is number one, name of your community. Already, we've already done everything right up until this point, so you just need a name, right? And then you need a brand statement. I'm hoping that if you have done the assignment for your own brand statement, it will be easier for you to just coin it in such a way that you have more people come on board beyond yourself. So the name of your community, your brand statement, okay, then your vision and mission statement. That one you might not necessarily you can come up with something with the help of AI. Like I'll say, you can just feed all these things. Every assignment I give you, you can feed it into AI and let it be a third thinking ear for you. So if you have Google, just try Google Gemini. If you're if you can if you're paid, if you're paying for ChatGPT, try ChatGPT, literally just so everyone everywhere has AI. Feed it in and say, okay, this is my vision, this is what I want to do. Can you coin it in such a way that people can easily right? And then we'll move to the next phase. So we've already practical one, name, vision, mission, and then brand statement, what you want people to, what people should get from joining the community based on what is on your niche. That's number one. Number two, we're going to be discussing essentially how to start up. Now, this is what a lot of people miss, especially because you're starting out as a freemium community. You need to have a set of rules. Okay, what people must be feel. So you saw what I did for the public speaking training. What we did was this. Now I already have an email list. I think my email list, one of the things I've noticed with my email list is that I have lots of persons now who have come on board. Okay, so I think I can remove, since I'm already in the press side, I can remove, give me a moment. I can remove this. Okay, give me a moment. I want to take this down because I think we're done. Now is our practical. So, okay. So just give me a moment. Let me take it out. Awesome. Okay, yes, I've been able to do that. So I'll just take out a few of us since the cameras are not on. Because okay, awesome. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, um, number one, you've decided on what you want to call it. The people who are two is that okay, we have decided what platform are you going to host your community. If you want it paid from word go, you have to do a lot of job. It means that you have to do an exchange. If you want to start by network. I'm so sorry about that. I think we're back. Now, I'll say it again. You need to have rules. You need to have something that you're going to put as a, like, you need to be sets of what you want them to do. So for the people who are starting out their communities with a freemium, I'll say it again, have something. Like for me, this was what I did. For the finished kit, as soon as you're entering, I'll tell you, take a screen. I had a flyer. Yes. So you have an offer already. The next is to come up with a flyer. It's either you talk to a friend who is in your sphere that you know that designs. There's somebody currently in the community that designs things, right? If you cannot afford right now to design immediately, what you might want to do is to tell the person to help you out to design a flyer. But for me, like from day one, I used my money for everything I was doing. Yes, I used my money for everything I was doing. Yes. So I used my money for everything I was doing. So day one, I told the person to what I told the person was to do a flyer for me, and I paid for the flyer because I really wanted something excellent. But because he was my friend, I didn't really pay so much. He also was supporting, but I made sure that something left me to the person. So, like I said, number one is what's the word? What you might want to do is to at least pay for ask the flyer if you can design all the best, right? For the people, okay, this is the gold class, so we're going to have a class on templates for YouTube, so you can just come up with something and just do. Okay, so that's number one. Then number two is after your offer, so we said the flyer. Now have a set of rules what you want them to do once they're in the group. For me, this is exactly what I said, right? I said, I rated them, oh, you're here. This is what we do in this community. Please do well to leave your names, your full names, and then please help by maybe sharing any of your social media handle. Let's say if you're looking at people from LinkedIn, because that's what we got in the first time we started. We got a lot of people from WhatsApp. Yes, so I'll say it again. I'm going to also explain that most times your community will transition after a while. You will have friends and families who support you in the first phase, but get comfortable because after a while they will also fizzle out, which is not bad. It's all part of it, right? So the goal is to get as many that have decided to work with you, work with them with the energy that you have. Just don't be somebody who is bitter. You say, oh, this person told you that they were going to come, and after a while they didn't come. Don't be bitter about it. Just wherever you are, just start with what you do now. So I'll say it again. The first time that you're going to give out these offers, because the people that will be converted easily are generally the people who view WhatsApp or any social media where you have built so far. So they have followers, put it there. People will just come in for Facebook. You can't put don't put the what's the word a post, if not it won't show. Every link stays in the comment section, right? So that's what you want to do. So essentially you tell them, they join the group, you welcome them, you fix the meeting. If the freemium meeting, in fact, you can teach a particular course for the freemium meeting, and then everybody rejoices and goes. Then you can come up with meetings. If you want to monetize immediately based on your expertise, please monetize immediately. Sometimes when you generate energy like that, it's always good to monetize immediately when you already have a lot of persons. I would always say for everybody that I know, I would suggest that they get at least 250 people sitting pretty in any platform, whether Kajabi, WhatsApp, anywhere that you want to. And it's not hard. The first 20 people come in, you tell them to copy the right words, if their flyer that they are taking. Even do that DP that I did for our first day on the say that they are attending this, share the link to the group and it's free, right? So let the free be so huge. So but by the time you're getting people already coming on board, right, you're already amplifying it by the community methods. Once you're already done with that particular phase, the next thing you're going to do is next thing you're going to do is, of course, have a meeting with them, discuss, teach. Your first meeting with them is to show expertise. So teach with your life, teach vibrating, teach with your explanation. If you cannot handle it alone, like I said, bring me, I'll come on board, do a flyer, we'll all come around you. So part of the opportunities you're going to get as well is that everybody in the community can come around, so you can tell anybody and nobody will charge you anything. So we can all just come out for you at your event. Like if you need me to help you, even if it's the anchor, maybe you don't talk so much, you can share, ask questions and all that. I can help when it's time for you to teach. will just leave you to be the main speaker of the hour. Okay, so you teach what you know how to teach. At the end of the day, you call, you make your offers, we can support you as well. Then the next thing will be now to start getting people coming on board. So every day you're going to be sharing of your journey, the people who came on board, how you can be beneficial. If they are up to a number that you think, okay, you can work with as a cohort. Some people started their cohorts with 4 people. Me, I didn't have that luxury because I had served longest. So I didn't think it was going to be possible for me to have just 4 persons, right? Some people started their cohorts with 4 persons, some started with 8 persons. Now, if you have money that you can invest, you can as well just do a, what do you call it? You can do a, what's the name of that thing? You can do a, you can actually just advertise. So you have random people pay and come in. But like I said, the conversion might not be much. You have to spend more money on adverts, which is still okay. I'll still say it again. And then you have you can start your business. So if we have any questions, I've run through community. If you have any questions, if you have any question, yes, I think I'm back. Awesome. Sorry, I didn't used to think that I didn't used to think that when it rains, it was going to affect network. Partly because this is restream, so I don't know if it's restream that is doing what it's doing. So you can turn on your cameras now. Please let me see you as you're asking your question. If you have any question, please just ask, so that if there's any form of clarity you need, maybe even in the naming of what you want to call, what you want to do, for those people who have missed most of the classes, you could just go ahead and ask the question, and then we'll just move to introduce YouTube. I'll just do a little bit of YouTube tonight. Then we'll have one more class. In fact, if you pay attention to today's class, this is why I didn't put it in the general class, because this is money on its own, gold mine on its own. So if you have any question, please let me know while I prepare the YouTube slide for YouTube. I already have I think a full 1 hour class for YouTube. I can also send it, but most times for me, I don't like recorded. I feel like it's unfair to send people recorded classes, but I don't know. I think that's what a lot of people are doing now. They seem to prefer it. So there's nothing I can do about that. If that's what they want to do. But me, generally, I feel it's unfair not to hold live classes. Okay, so let me just quickly do, just quickly, if we have any question, Please let me know. Nadi, have you been saying anything? Because I can see your camera. That's why I was saying it's better everybody's camera is on so that I'm able to know who is doing what. Were you asking a question?
No, ma. Okay. Good evening, Doc. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yes, crystal clear. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I have some two groups or communities, Facebook, not Facebook, sorry, WhatsApp. So based, though most of them are based in Kenya, but you find that these people are not active at all. When you post, they don't um respond. What should I do?
Okay, don't do what?
Respond.
Hello?
You post. Hello,
What?
can you hear me?
They don't respond. Okay, okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes,
I
yes,
can hear you.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, so my issue is whenever I post anything like tutorials, or I want them to do like this challenge of LinkedIn, or I want them to participate in anything, they just go mute. They don't do anything, and I feel sometimes demotivated.
Okay, so that's essentially what I'm saying, right? Um, what you need to do is this, right? You need to spend more time on LinkedIn. Like I said, I even said it when I was conversing. I said that the first set of people who joined is just their goal is just to give you, I don't know, that moral support. That's all they should give you. In fact, the fact that they are that much number in a group is already a win-win for you, even if they are not active. One day, one of them might definitely tell somebody who knows somebody, especially if they see that you're consistently active, irrespective of if they whether they are participative or not. They will definitely tell somebody that, oh, they have somebody. Neddy builds website and she's very serious about this thing, whether we like it or not. She's always posting about it. We just, in fact, if you need anybody to work on your company's website, please just reach out to Neddy. So you can see that already. The goal is not essentially to have them to be interactive in the group. The goal is for you to find the traffic. You need to find, hey, this is serious. Give me a moment. Ah, my husband is already resting. Sorry, I will just turn off my camera. Okay. So now, like I said again, the goal is not to what's the word now? The goal is not to it's not essentially for them to do everything for you. The goal is to what's the word? The goal is that at time T, somebody believed you enough to have entered your group, right? But you have to be growing daily. For me, at some point, I noticed that as well. So, guess what I realized? I realized that I needed to be posting about the group at least, even if it's once a group, a week. Or, in fact, one of the things I told myself was that the community's link will always be in my comment section. So, any day that it's not there, I made a mistake. Because the truth is, a lot of people, you're the one who is in it for the long run, right? But a lot of people are not even sure of what they want to do with their lives. So they just heard that, oh, Nelly is having a community. They just jumped in it and they are not sure about it. Some of them might even pay and they're not sure. That's exactly what's happening to us now, right? But it still doesn't mean that your own energy should dim. Because like I said, your it's your vision. That's why your why must be strong. It- that's why something must keep you pushing them. And then I said always get fresh people, because it's normal if somebody didn't found something. So in English, if somebody did not create something or is not passionate about something, it means that the passion that they will eventually have is transferred. So I said have lots of contact points. You have to find a meeting opportunity. For me, that Sunday opportunity is sacrosanct, is like a ritual. That's the word. If I want to maybe use a diabolical word, it's like a ritual. We have to meet, and this thing I'm telling you, it's not because I'm not seeing it work over and over again. That's also part of the reason why the church is working, right, in Africa or anywhere where the meeting of the brethren is not played with. And that's the principle I also use. It's a biblical principle, so that you make sure that you're always in contact with the people that you're transferring knowledge to. So I don't know if this is okay. I don't mind. I may have spoken for longer.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So is there any other question? Does anybody have any other question? Does anybody have any other question? Okay, so we'll just move. I'll just introduce the YouTube. Like I said, YouTube channel is not hard, especially for people who the YouTube channel is not hard, for, especially for people who are not even bothered about creating anything serious, like repositioning. You know how we talk about repositioning on LinkedIn? That's the same way on YouTube. There are certain people who are even positioned to reposition. But then, of course, like I said, this course is more like a continuum. So if you've already all these things I've been telling us, if we've done all our assignments, in fact, you just sit down and be producing videos. For me, that if you see my my what do they call it, my folder now, even just from my event, my weekly event, I can just cut videos and literally offload them online and I'm good. And like I said, we've done this for 6 months back to back. 6 months back to back. So every week I in fact for my posturing is the posture of posting every day on YouTube, right? And I think, well, you decide your frequency anywhere you want to start a journey. Decide your frequency. And the good thing about YouTube is that you don't have to post what is primarily yours, but there are copyright laws. There are copyright laws. I'm going to say it again. There are copyright laws. So don't be comfortable in just probably just taking something that doesn't belong to you. There are ways you must pay attention to. Name people properly, hashtag people properly, and then also mention them properly, okay, for whatever they have. But I've seen people, like if your niche is into nostalgia, that's old Nigerian movies. I mean, you need to see millions of views these guys are getting just by just carrying a part of an old movie and dusting it and reshaping it and maybe showing themselves by the corner, one corner of the video. So every single time you've seen a video online that showed somebody one corner, the person is trying to avoid, what do they call it, infringements of the copyright laws on YouTube, because you can even earn and YouTube will make you pay back the money simply because you did not mention the appropriate persons who owned what. So like I said, if you're already growing a community, then that means originality will be very simple for you. So it simply means that you easily just have content back to back. If you are teaching back to back, you will always have content. And you see how every day when I post, I just drop it in the main group. And people randomly, depending on the day they decide to wake up, will definitely see it. Okay, so on an average, people within the community, at least 200 people can just see it. Even if they don't want to go back on LinkedIn, one day they can just decide that Vivian is one of the most consistent, and the way she's so passionate about what she does, let me just subscribe for what she does. So that's why we are also saying that pay attention for all those people who are building community tonight. I would also say to you, please focus on make hosting most of your events on YouTube. For me now, that's one of my biggest regrets, right? When I mean first, hosting most of your events on YouTube, it means primarily on YouTube. Like what we're doing now, we're streaming on other platforms, and usually every algorithm on other platforms will make sure that other people are not seeing it because they see streaming tools as a third, yes, they call them a third tool app, right? So they are a third party app. Yes, that's the word I wanted to use. So they are seeing them as a third party app. So if I was doing a direct Facebook live right now, I would literally have thousands of people or hundreds of people just jumping on the live. If I was doing a YouTube live now directly, I'll literally have hundreds of people just jump on the live randomly. I've done it, I've practicalized it, even without what's the word? Even without probably announcing that, okay, I'm having an event at what time. So what people would always say is, if you want to stream at all platforms at the same time, you might want to increase your streaming tools. But the problem now, in the case where it's not just you that is going to be teaching, what is going to happen to you, okay, your other speakers, when they are the only ones speaking? Like what will happen to other speakers when they are the only ones speaking and you're not speaking? So people under your own platform will just be like, okay, why is she just watching? But somebody else is already speaking. So that's where the challenge is. If you have multiple streaming tools, everybody who is probably going to be on that event or that live event should also have it as well. So building a successful YouTube channel is going to be very fast. Like I said, if you're somebody who repositions, that's your niche allows you to reposition. It's very simple. You have find a green screen. So green screen essentially a plain wall. If you have the material, some people use plain clothes and the like a green material, you go they buy it and they put it. That's why that's when you see some of those people on live events, you notice that they're not disappearing. Unlike other people, when they put those virtual backgrounds, you see like that they're disappearing, their head is disappearing, their eye is disappearing. It's just simply because they are not using the green background. Okay, so you can get that every time you see any video you like, you remix. So on YouTube, there's a place where you just click remix and you see a lot of persons, and you can just remix a video by staying in the video. So you cannot have any copyright infringement because you are on the video. But there's an amount, a length of what's the word? A length of video that you can repost. If you repost more than some people can, they set it for their remix. Some people will say 15 seconds, that's for their songs. Some people can say 1 minute, some people can say 30 seconds. But I've not seen anybody who allowed more than that. Right. So you see, that's why you see most people whose niche is to criticize. Yes, there's what they call those guys now, I've forgotten. You see that they'll play maybe let's say a court case and they're sitting by the side of the video and they are giving their own critic, they are reviewing the particular videos. If you notice, most times they cannot put the whole video at the same time. They'll just sit one place and they are adding their own thoughts. Okay. If not, if you're not in the video, you can have copyright infringement on all levels. So there's for like I told the people in the last class, there's infringement of graphic design. Some people their logo, if YouTube detects their logo on your video, they can take down that video or they can just call it copyright. It means that you cannot earn from the video. In fact, they can block you if you copy and you post someone's material and the person has worked with a very good lawyer who has probably protected all their resources, their intellectual properties. You just see that YouTube will block you completely from a particular country. So it means that nobody will see you. Okay, so let me just go right into our conversations for the night. So you just see that if you've been following our events so far, you see that everything, if you've been doing the assignments, YouTube will just be a walkover. It's just for you to browse, okay, and just decide, okay, based on these topics that I'm going to teach these people. So for me, all my YouTube topics, like I said, when we started this year, I had 52 topics already. 52 topics. The people in group one, that's the people who did the first cohort for this year, have access to all those topics. So what I did was I just picked all of them, I just browsed, got all of them on ground, and any day I would just sit down and start doing my video productions back to back, and I'll get people watching. Okay, but then of course, like I said again, you also need to build a community of persons who already believe in you. So rather than you waiting for the algorithm to help you, you can start by hosting your events there, getting people to follow you, subscribe to you. So you can see that I'm already making this thing super easy for you. I'll still say it again. For me, I think I regretted, right? When I started my events, if all those events, hey, Jesus, all those 30,000 people I got on LinkedIn, I got them on YouTube. By now, I'm not sure I would have been anybody's mates by now. All those viewership that I got on LinkedIn, if I had started my YouTube when I started, when everybody's head was hot, I mean, we'll have like 500 persons. We had 500 persons jump on the first challenge, and literally every week we're bossing and all that. Like I said, there are different phases for your business. Pay attention and leverage, because there's no phase that will last forever. And then some, if you have to maintain it, money has to go down. Okay. So that's one thing you need to pay attention to now. Now that people are raving about you, like I said, the first people who believe in you, they're not essentially the first people you need. Just have your sets of things that you want them to do for you. Once they are doing it for you, the main people who are desperate for what you have to offer will come into the group naturally. Those ones, you don't have to force them to come out and do this, do that. In fact, even for me, from this camp, I already know the amount of people for next camp. The camp will not start until I get that amount of persons, because at least I want a particular number of people who are serious. And it's so unfortunate that people can still pay and not get serious. Then that also means that the camp is highly undercharged, because if you can pay a certain amount of money and you're not even bothered, it means that there's a problem. Okay, so that means that the person's level, the person's energy is higher than what he was asked to pay. Okay, So, like we said, we've already laid this foundation. We've done everything here. You see how fast we're going to be done with this class. We've done everything here. Okay, so you know your passion, you know your niche, you know your brand statement. You already have a community of people that you can say, oh, our post on this is going to be coming out this year, and the person is like, yay, please drop, and all that. Okay, so the next thing will be keyword research, right? Finding on tap topics, video topics that captivates your audience. That for me, that's one thing I had to do first of all. So for your niche, the same thing, that first assignment we said for LinkedIn, you do it for YouTube. Find people who are on YouTube currently that are making waves and position yourself in their topic. So it's more like riding the wave. Let's say now, I God forbid that's not my niche. So if your niche is a gossip niche, well, that's good for you. Let's say now with the new wave of VDM and many other persons, D1, the Enlightened, the Rattels, if you have topics around there, you might not do as well as those people who are already in the river, but you don't get discouraged. Because the thing is, if normally you have zero views, if normally you have zero views, normally probably you were supposed to have zero views, but because you jumped on the ride and you get 50 views, don't get discouraged. You're doing excellently well, because if you probably just did any video of whatever was in your mind that does not have any such importance, your video will flop. And like I said, there's no pressure on YouTube. Your views are your views. Even if you delete videos, your views are your views. So try out many things. You can post. If it doesn't work for you, delete, repost, post the same thing. You can post the same thing 1 million times. Nobody would stress you, right? So for me, what I normally do is to use the YouTube search bar. So I'm hoping that all of us are already practicalizing. Just use the search bar and just explore all the competitors channel. Okay, so if you're into worship, who are the people who are being listened to more right now who are into worship? If you're into, what's the word, into monetization, who are the rave now who are talking about business and opportunities and all, just type and see what topics they like typing, and people are looking for it. So by the time you find those topics and the one that is for ranking number one, there's an app called 2BD that can show you your competitors channels, right? You might just want to download that and have it on ground with you, so that you can now pay attention and start releasing. Okay, so you see how easy. For me, one thing I've noticed is that once you're already growing on a particular one social media platform, you can actually just spread it. Like what I did today was I shared the same post I posted on LinkedIn across all platforms, all. So of course, platforms like Facebook and YouTube, you can post and ghost. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, you can post and ghost. If it's controversial, the algorithm will move it for you. LinkedIn, you cannot post and ghost. Okay, you cannot post and ghost on LinkedIn. Facebook is essentially support. If you're generally somebody who supports and people notice that you're always coming out, they will start supporting you after a while. But if you don't support other people, like maybe sharing, one day you can just decide to engage for maybe 20 minutes, since it's not your main platform. That's what I'm doing now. So I saw that one of my posts, I posted twice today on Facebook. One I did, both of them I did post and ghost. Then one, I think I had about 40 likes for a post and ghost, and it was not something new. I just copied what I posted on LinkedIn and posted it on Facebook and made it more fun. Okay, so Facebook, they like to play a lot. So I believe that when my videos start coming on live, I'll do a lot more better on Facebook and Instagram. All I need to do is have a lot of props. So I've been able to get to find some of the things that I need. I've already priced them and all that. So as more money is coming, I'm investing for what I want to do. Okay. Okay, so one of the things you need to do, like we said, just like the way on LinkedIn. So these things are not hard. It's the same thing for all platforms. It seems to me that like it's the same talents that they rotate in all those bodies. So essentially, the algorithm is about the same thing again. So the hook, a lot of people will have hook. So if you're a gossip channel, you definitely have more view than all of us. But I will say again, for YouTube, the fact that you have viewership doesn't mean that get paid equal. So for doctors, like now I'm starting a channel currently with my husband where we'll be discussing sec- um because I'm streaming on YouTube now, I don't know, on Facebook. Okay, so where we'll be discussing like health clinic, like sexual health clinic, as well as andrology. So that one, channels like that, they will pay more. If you're a gossip channel, they know that traffic, generally people will move the traffic towards you because it's easy for you to grow your channel. Growth channels, then gossip channels, then some of these other channels, maybe sharing people's songs, they don't get as much money that when compared to the education niche. So if you, let's say you want to educate VAs on how to get this, how to make money online, all those, anything educational usually would have more payment. So choose your niche wisely so that you don't say, okay, I want to do this music video, I want to do video reviews. Just know that anything entertaining, because they know that people generally have traffic to your post, they might reduce, they usually pay people less in that niche. Okay. So value your hook, always have something extra. Like I said, once you've researched your competitors, it's going to be super easy. In fact, you can even mimic their topics and then give them credit when you're talking. You can just say, this person's video inspired this. I was watching a video and I saw that this was what this person did. And I decided, okay, maybe I should break it all down to my own community. Okay, based on my experience, this is what I think they should know. So I said clear and concise, always have a call to action in every video. So you can see that it's the same thing for LinkedIn. So once you're already growing on a platform, essentially they have all the same experiences. Okay. Okay. So of course we've already talked about compelling titles. So sorry, this thing is moving super fast. Give me a moment. So, well, when they're talking about, like I said, for YouTube, you can always go and delete, just like anywhere, Facebook, everything. You can always go and delete some of those things, right? As your gadgets improve. But make sure you actually just start out, step out first. Step out first. Of course, like I said, for SEO, get TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy, TUBBY. I wish my I don't know how this, because I'm having challenge with this particular platform. I wish it was StreamYard I was using, just like the way I shared my screen yesterday. I would have day before yesterday, I would have shared my screen to show you how to. But if you have any challenge, you can always just reach out to me. Okay, so I said you can use TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is TUBBY. TUBBY. You can just attach it to an extension or attach it to your YouTube. So once you just browse about it, one, I just hope everybody already has a channel, but if you don't have, it's very simple. Do we have a channel? Just if you have a channel, please just drop it in the in chat box, whether you have a channel or not. There's no challenge. You can also just come up with the day we're going to do review. Maybe I'll just take out 15 minutes and just do a quick run off for all of us, and then we move from there. Okay, so everything, this detailed description of everything, we can all that one is essentially just the way you set up. You will be setting up events for your LinkedIn. You just you can even description, you can get it from AI. You can just write, I curated a video on this. AI, please help me write a detailed description for a YouTube channel that is mainly hosting this. You just see people, YouTube will just or the AI will just write down all those things. You just copy it, humanize it. You can even tell the AI to humanize it as well. Once you humanize it, you just quickly drop it as well on your detailed description, and that's it. Add your your tags. Make sure you had your tags. It's always advisable to post from a laptop. I realize that most of my postings from phone, they don't usually do so well because there are so many. The studio, of course, the studio now, there's a mobile version of the YouTube studios, but it's not as detailed as the phone, as a laptop studio. But then if you want to use your, at least just start something. So everything I'm saying right now is that you should just start. Okay, so everything that I'm saying right now is just that you might want to also customize your channel. Once you see, go ahead and see, you can just open my channel and see how I customized it. Make sure that anybody who clicks on your channel should be able to easily find you on other places, because so that they don't think you're a scammer, just like every other person who will just open a YouTube channel and it's not traceable. Have your Linktree. If you don't have a Linktree app, just download, click on Linktree. So Linktree is link.tree. So you just open an account there, add all your accounts, social media accounts there, add everything, right? Once you add all your social media account there, you can always share it on all your platforms so that anybody who is looking for you anywhere can find you anywhere, right? So that you're not leaving money on the table. Okay. So okay, so for that TubeBuddy, right? After using the TubeBuddy for the laptop version, in fact, it will be telling you when your topic is so poor, when your topic will not go well, when your video will not do well. So if your video is blurry, it will tell you that this video is poor. Your thumbnails, that if your thumbnail is not fine, the TubeBuddy will tell you. It will even give you a percentage score, so you even know. Like for me, I know when my post will not do well when it comes to when I'm posting off from my laptop, but from your phone, you might not have that much information, right? But from your laptop, you can have all that information. Now, the advantage, like I still say, you're better off posting than somebody who is not posting. Any day, especially if you're starting out. In fact, some people say post up to 10 times. Uh-huh. So before you are thinking that I've posted one, I'm a G. So many people on YouTube, what they normally do is that they post once a week. But if you're starting out, now you know how it they do you cannot be waiting. So even if now the good thing about YouTube is gradually becoming like a social media. There's even a place to post for your community pictures. So find out those your pictures, even if it's one picture per day. Make sure that if you don't have a video ready or you have a challenge with your video, like for me, I wasn't able to post that the video that was supposed to come out at 10 today. When I'm done with this meeting, I will just use my normal regular video pictures and tell them, I'm sorry, my community, this was what happened, right? After all, nobody's paying me. And this is me saying it in a silent voice. But then you just want to ensure that you're having that consistency. So your visuals. Next, one thing I've also noticed for Instagram, anything that can go on Instagram can go on YouTube. So you find out that people follow people on this here. So aesthetics for beauty and for glory. So you should have all these things at the back of your mind. I mean, you should be like a long-term goal for you while you're pushing whatever you have. So me, I would see say you who is stepping out, you're better than somebody who is not even doing anything and saying, so is that how their background is? Why is this girl's house is not fine? Okay, why is she disappearing? You're criticizing, you're not creating. And like I say it again, this is how God wired this world. For people who are not creating, they will fizzle out. They will literally fizzle out. People who are not actively creating. So if you're not in the place where you're giving out something every day, you might feel like you're the one who is exhausted, you're the one who is having burnout. But check out those people who are not giving anything. That's how they go down. So for me, I had already concluded it. I don't have an excuse, right? I can only rest when I need to. And then if I see anybody who posts anything at all, I'm going to support the person, not because of anything. It's just simple and straightforward. Okay, the goal is to ensure that you are giving out something. Okay, so but for LinkedIn, like we said, LinkedIn zone is their wahala is too much. You must stay on that platform. So anybody who is having traffic now as we speak had the point when they did almost 12 hours, they just stayed there. After you stay for that long, something cracks for you. The algorithm suddenly just cracks open for you, and then before you know it, you start seeing yourself in the 500 likes and comments. Then of course, if you share something that is super resonating and the person who shares your post is somebody who makes this sacrifice, that's where you can also have more viewership. So for people who think that they randomly get viral, it's not possible for you for LinkedIn. It just means that somebody who has paid the price shared it. So that's how all these things they're trying to mimic the spiritual world, the whole idea of Jesus be us. Okay. So if you can hear me, please confirm that you can hear me so that I can progress. The people in house, please just send me an in text and in chat message so that I'm sure that you can hear me. Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so now utilizing playlists. If you notice, I have playlists. What I do, I have playlists for mine. I wrote upskilling with How what did I even call? Oh, what is going on? Okay, hello everyone. If you can hear me, please just leave our conversation in the backstage. Sorry, I had to use my device now because my laptop eventually gave up for ghosts. Sorry, there's nothing like that. Okay, so essentially, like I said, organizing your videos into playlists can give people opportunities to move from one video to the other. But that one, I think we can always do that much more later because um it's always better to organize your short form videos into playlists. For now, I notice that most of us who are going to be doing the community model, of course, like I said, please host your events on YouTube, right? Primarily, not this one that we're doing, not this one that I'm doing. This one that I'm doing right now is streaming. Like I said, it's going to affect the algorithm. So most people, that's what they did, right? Most people might not find you if you stream across all platforms, right? But if you do, like, you host your event in app, right? Stream through in app. So it means you set up your devices, you set up, you use your mobile phone or whatever it is you want to use, your laptop or anything. You set up a an event in YouTube using YouTube Studios. You're likely going to have more viewership compared to people who use a third party app. So I'll say it again. When you start creating your short form videos, you can start, and it's like I said, since we're building a community, you'll be looking at what your community needs and have a particular flow. So that when somebody moves from, like for me now, I'm going to be talking about how to make your first $1,000 as a freelancer, a beginner freelancer. I have series already, like, so, and it's going to be super short. Some of them will just be 5 minutes video, 6 minutes video, so that when somebody's learning from one, you just move to the next, to the next, to the next. So I'm going to make it super short and give a call to action and tell the person to follow the next. So by the time the person follows you every day like that, um you're also going to build a community. So part of the things you're going to do is also you're going to have a call to action on your comment section, telling them that, okay, if they want to join other community of persons where you can work with them one on one, right, they should just join you. So you're going to leave the link in the comment section where they will join you. Okay, and always promote your YouTube channel every day, on your WhatsApp, everywhere promotable, on your LinkedIn. So one thing I had to do was that I listed what I can be dropping on my comment section after I post on LinkedIn. So YouTube should be there, community WhatsApp group should be there, um So all those things that people are using, and they're writing laughter, they are putting rice and stew, they are putting bole, they're asking you to sip and juice. That's actually where all your call to actions of what you do is supposed to be. So that when people want to actually type and comment, they would definitely meet something that you do that will definitely come back to you. Okay, so let me see if my slide, I'm not sure it can, this slide can move on this one because I added it, but essentially this is the okay, give me a moment. I think it's the second to the last. Uh, okay, yes. So you can see that everything we're talking about here, right, is still everything that we've discussed for LinkedIn. So all that you have to do is pay attention to repositioning, video posts, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. That's what I want to do. The same thing, I will be spreading it all, spread them, spread them, right? Spread it so that you're not, you use one bird kill many stones. Then you sit on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is your seat of money, is where people will pay you, right? Like I said, depending on your niche. If your niche is gossip niche, then please stay quietly on your LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and be gossiping. Any story that is just passing by, you just grab it and do your own version. Annie and Two Face, so grab it and do your own version. Me, I'm not wired like that. But if I tell you that I was not tempted, I was tempted. But I'm grateful to God to also find out that YouTube doesn't pay people equally. So all the people are jumping on, what do they call it, every trend, they don't get as much as people who are educating on YouTube. So that's where my piece is. So if your niche allows all those gossips, well, you can go ahead. Like I said, your growth also depends on it, right? So look forward. Like I said, I've said it 1 million times. Find people who are currently in your niche, who are serving in that particular, who will be giving what you give. So find people in your niche and collaborate, who are already doing well. So you know somebody who has a YouTube, or let's say, even though active engagement is better than followership. So even for LinkedIn, active engagement is better than followership. So somebody who has a traffic, collaborating with the person can bring people on board, because like I said, LinkedIn can purposely um block algorithm in your direction simply because they want you to spend time. And I said it's not robbery. If somebody has told you that this is how they want you to pay them, and you know that this place is where you should be, please stay there and pay them. Pay with your time. Once you crack the code, you have already gotten it, right? And it won't be taken away from you. And then if you disappear again after 1 week, they will lock it. That's how they do. So consistency is key, or develop a system that would help you. So I said collaborations, then paid advertising. When you start building traffic, of course, you now see a lot of people, they'll say brand advertisement. You find out that, oh, paid advertisements, that's when people will start paying you. So essentially, what you need to do is ensure that your contents are compelling. So I told you, once you've put that particular niche and you have figured it out, you've seen somebody who's already doing it, it's very easy. You know that these things what people want, right? Give them the honor that is due them by mentioning them, even in the if you're copying. Well, I would advise, don't copy verbatim, right? Don't copy verbatim, but at least just, you could just say, okay, so I was searching out, or you can talk about your own stories. Always inculcate storytelling, right? Do your regular uploads, and then of course make sure that your thumbnails are beautiful. Like we said, the one more class we're going to have is a class on video editing and thumbnails, and then we're already good to go. But like I said, be vulnerable. Any video that you have now that you think is fun and you want people, that is relevant to your niche, start from your posting tomorrow. Once you post, drop it in the group. We'll all just go and view and see what you're doing so far. But then, like I said, once we have that class, we will not longer tolerate anything just anyhow post. You can even use most of this AI. Most of these AI videos are not copyrighted. But pay attention to the background music. Make sure that when you are doing, if you want to earn from that particular, like I said, they can ban you. An entire country will not even see your post. That's what they do. If there's a copyright alert, so if you post from your phone, YouTube will not tell you anything. If you post on your laptop, YouTube will tell you when you have infringed a copyright law. So what you want to do is, if once you're starting out like this, I'll advocate, this is what nobody told me, advocate that you post often with your laptop, because if you infringe, They will even do copyright tests before it will eventually go out. But for phone, it's blindness. You just post it, next thing you just see, like us, that our intro video, there was a particular sound in it that I didn't know was had that was trademarked, be IP protected. It was after 3 hours of events. So you can imagine how much I lost today with all the people that viewed it. Just what's the word? I just got see. That's why most this last 2 weeks I've not used it. I just told myself I cannot lose an entire video because I want to do aesthetics. So please pay attention to the background videos. Tell the people who are your graphic designer or your video content creator that he should please use free sounds. Free sounds. He should not use the one that belongs to people. Okay, so essentially, like I said, everything we've decided on, choose a platform. We said we are choosing. So, like, if once you start your YouTube journey, share the same thing on your Instagram. Don't even go there to comment anything. Just put it there and move. I told you all these other platform, Instagram, Facebook, people are plenty there. People that are jobless, they call that person on me, looking for what to watch all through the night. Just drop it there and move on. And then essentially, hey, Jesus, my husband has a meeting by 10. Sorry, guys, I will just end this meeting now. Because there's no laugh. Hey, sorry, I would want to say thank you, everyone, for staying in. Please, if you have any question, please leave the question in the community. I didn't know when I overshot my time. Thank you so much. Let me just quickly do a setup for the next event. Do have an amazing night rest, everyone.